Today is another biased review on an album about my adolescence. Let's check it. Blink-182's self-titled album was released back on November 18th of 2003. This album holds a special place for me, as does probably for a lot of you out there. I became a Blink fan right in between Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and this self-titled album. I had never seen the band live, and had pretty much milked every single song from their discography, completely dry, patiently waiting for new music to come out. With the self-titled album, the band took a different approach to writing and recording than they did in the past. Rather than recording in a traditional recording studio, the band went to a house. Like an actual house. They rented a person's house and wrote and recorded the entire album from scratch, which can be seen in a 2003 MTV documentary, Album Launch, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. It's really cool, it's about a half-hour long, and it's on YouTube right now. I remember leading up to the record's release, Blink used to have these things, these webisodes, called the Cheetah Chronicles, where their cameraman, his name was Cheetah, would post daily updates on the band's progress of the album. And it was short, like 30-second to 1-minute clips of the band coming up with new riffs and cutting vocal tracks and sharing snippets of new songs, which really got me and all my friends excited for the new record to come out. This was long before the mass marketing means of social media, and it was definitely a treat to watch every single episode, even if it was in 360 or 240p at the time. As of the recording of this, and why I'm doing this, it is the band's 16th year anniversary of the self-titled record. That's right, the album can now get a license and sign up for the military in the United States if it wants to. Just 2 more years and it'll be going away to college, ditching its lectures and acting like an ass, or however those lyrics go. So today, we take a look at the album, self-titled album, track by track. Let's get into it. First up is Feeling This, or should I say Action, which it was originally titled as seen on the 2003-2004 Madden video game soundtrack. The band couldn't have picked a better opener for the record, or a better first single for that matter. The song set the mood for the rest of the album, and while some argue that the song is kind of a standalone to the rest of the record, which is more serious and dark, I think it's the best fit to jumpstart the record, and it's still one of my favorite Blink songs. Obvious. Driving down the road from the sunshiny, sexually fueled Feeling This, Obvious takes a dark turn down a spooky, foggy road at midnight. Low distorted droning guitars, vocal melodies that are almost screaming at times, and no parts in the song that break the tension at all throughout the entire track. You can almost play the argument that's happening throughout the song in your head, and to me it seems that it's about an upset Tom DeLonge, tired of being used in a relationship that he's trying to make work, but is actually doing more work himself than the relationship's actually worth. Or so that's what it seems to me. At the end of that dark, spooky, foggy road lies the metaphorical haunted house that is the song I Miss You. I could actually say it's a literal haunted house as depicted in the music video for the song. This song was absolutely everywhere at the time when it dropped as a single, and in my opinion brought back the whole Nightmare Before Christmas thing, which I thought was cool anyway at the time. With those lyrics, we can live like Jack and Sally if we want. On Halloween, on Christmas, those lyrics were in the song. This song, I must admit, is one of my favorites from the record, but at the time that it was being played on the radio constantly, it just got beat to death, and it was almost like hearing a word so much that it didn't sound like a word anymore. It was just so beat to death, as was Boulevard of Broken Dreams when it dropped on American Idiots, or Green Day's American Idiot record, but that's a song for another album and another biased review. Violence. If you thought the mood at some point in this record was going to lighten up, you wouldn't be right with track 4's Violence. The song title alone is aggressive. Travis Barker has even went on record to say that this song is one of his favorite to play live. The drum fills are crazy and he likes to mix up and change things every night rather than stick to the same pattern. I love that in the song you get these left ear fills, if you listen to it in headphones, of Tom singing. Well, in your right ear fill, you're getting Hoppus saying the same thing an octave lower, but it's like droning, and he has this cool like reverse delay effect. Then the song breaks into an unforgettable, powerful chorus with the lyrics like Violence You Have Me. Stockholm Syndrome. The song begins with an interlude featuring actress Joanne Whalley, reciting love letters that Mark Hoppus' grandfather wrote to his wife during World War II. This song is one of the most obvious examples of the band's experimentalism during the writing and recording process. The love letters are read over top this haunting piano ballad that kicks into this incredibly fast and aggressive song. It sounds nothing like old Blink and really channels in that element they were trying to get out of writing something new with the band. Down. One of my favorite tracks on the record. And I'm sure I played it over and over again on the phone to some girl that I liked at the time to try to impress her back in the day. The song is a love song, plain and simple. It feels like Tom was kind of honing in his boxcar racer writing style skills during this song, and it feels and sounds very much like a boxcar racer song. From the subject matter to how everything is very stripped down. There's no bass guitar during the verses, the chorus is kind of built up, and there's a lot of like drum and just guitar fills in it. The Fallen Interlude. Jumping down that experimental rabbit hole even more is the Fallen Interlude. This is 100% Travis Barker's song and was the first Blink song to have a predominantly hip-hop based feel to it. The song is the palate cleanser of the record. Smack dab in the middle, and where you're having these like harder punk songs, you have this thing that's just 2 minutes right in the middle and sounds nothing like the rest of the record. Go. Go kicks in and sounds like old Blink, circa 1997 Dude Ranch. It's fast, it's straightforward, kind of power chordy. It reminds me of a Descendants song with the way it's written and arranged. The song is about a broken home, which the band has been open about in the past with songs like Stay Together for the Kids. This song seems to take the point of view from Mark's perspective, and it's a really and powerful emotional song. You should definitely give it a listen. Asthenia, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is defined as atrophy or weakness in the medical community, but it's more specifically written in this song about the mental and physical health that astronauts get during long missions in space. This song has and always will be the inception of Angels and Airwaves to me. From first listen, it can be confused as an Angels and Airwaves song, with the delayed guitar effects and trippy spacey keyboard sounds, to the mission control voices at the beginning of the song reporting to the space station. I think this was Tom's way of creaking the door open to Angels and Airwaves before completely kicking it down when the first record, We Don't Need to Whisper, came out. Always. When the band wrote this song, they said they were going for an 80s vibe, using a retro way of recording with reel-to-reels rather than digitally produced, to old-style tube amps, to the big puffy 80s microphones that'll probably electrocute you if you're not careful. This song is definitely an homage to 80s love ballads, with its own Blink feel in the mix. Also, a side note, it has something to do with the song. I love how the music video for this song is made. With the 3-person perspective, it's like film. Just go watch it. It's really awesome. Something like that hasn't been done. The Rick and Morty Wrinkle in Time episode. So if you're familiar with that, then you're familiar with this and you might like it. Go watch those and appreciate it. It's definitely a really cool video to watch if you even don't like the song. Easy Target. I always considered this song a two-parter, and you'll see why in a moment. Easy Target to me feels like it's about a one-sided relationship where one person is taking advantage of every aspect of the other person, and the song is being told from the perspective of the person being taken advantage of. The reference of the protagonist Holly is mentioned in the song, and the person Holly is the wrongdoer, by the way. I don't know, that's just my take on the song. Why it's a two-parter is the song has this riff that kind of repeats on at the end and throughout. That's like faster. Let me just show you. That riff, it's like throughout the entire song, and at the end of the song, you hear this. Which carries over into the next tune. All of this opens up into that riff, but completely slowed down. The band dove back into the 80s and dug out one of their idols for a guest appearance on the track, who was Robert Smith from The Cure. It's really dark and melancholy, like a Cure song, with Robert's voice being the perfect match. It's also to mention that Holly is mentioned again, where as I said, it feels like a two-part song. Here's Your Letter. Picking back up is this deep cut on the album. It's a happy-go-lucky song with a darker overall tone, about a relationship gone rogue and one person from the relationship trying to cope as a breakup feels like it's killing them. I'm Lost Without You. A 6.5-minute piano ballad from Blink? Yeah, a 6.5-minute piano ballad. That's the last thing any of you guys probably expected to round out the album, myself included. But here we are. It's definitely another experimental tune from the record, and definitely dives into that 80s, early 90s sounding territory, with the long choruses, splattered keyboard effects, and the entire song cascaded over this rooted piano melody. With only 2 verses in it, it trails off into the same chorus for around 3 minutes. It's definitely a song to fall asleep to. Not now. Bonus track. I'm going to consider this part of the Blink-182's self-titled record. Because it came out in the Japanese, and I might be wrong about this, but the European releases of the record, but didn't come to the US until the Greatest Hits album dropped a couple years later in 2005. This song needs more credit, way more than it deserves, and I think it would have done better had it just have been on the US release as well. It's a sad song about someone dying, and the person that died is trying to communicate with loved ones from the great beyond. With all of this said, it's also to mention that the album wouldn't have been possible without the late, great Huckle Jerry Finn. Jerry Finn was a producer on the album, and was considered by many the fourth member of Blink-182. He worked on every album from Enema of the State on, and even contributed to the Greatest Hits album, which dropped in 2005. Jerry Finn sadly passed away on August 1st, 2008, due to a hemorrhage followed by a massive heart attack. Finn is also responsible for such other successful albums like And Out Come the Wolves by Rancid, Sing the Sorrow by AFI, The Ever Passing Moment by MXPX, Dookie by Green Day, A Killer No Filler by Sum 41, and many more. If you haven't heard Blink-182's self-titled record, get on it, front to back. The album was definitely ahead of its time with its experimentalism and moving forward from a band that was known for running around naked and singing about grandpa pooping his pants. That's all I have for this. If you like these biased reviews, give me a like down below and let me know what album I should do next. Until next time guys, stay pop punk and let's roll the outro, which is kind of repetitive, but whatever. Later. Hey guys, we're at that part of the video where you should like and subscribe. And after the video is over, comment on some stuff. What did you like? What did you not like? What should I do next? Something like that. There's more to this channel than just the whole YouTube thing. I post daily blogs on thepoppunkdad.com, which features daily reviews and interviews from awesome bands from around the globe. Head on over to the Pop Punk Dad merch shop where you can find cool things like that right there. It helps the channel out and it lets me know that you love me. I have a weekly podcast called the Pop Punk Dadcast, which is on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Please subscribe. And hey, while you're at it, after this video, cruise on around and check out other content that tickles your fancy. Interviews with awesome bands, vlogs, cover songs, and more. You can check out all my socials, my IG, my FB, my Snapchat, and my Twitter at the Pop Punk Dad. And above all else, guys, stay pop punk. Later.